Welcome back to Fight Club Minis. Today I'm going to be remaking a diorama that I made like over a year ago. This was one of the first things that I made when I started getting back into making miniatures. I initially got started in 2020 and I became like instantly obsessed. And then life got in the way and my bakery was doing pretty well, so I shifted focus to that. And then last year I got back into it, and like I said, this is one of the first projects that I made. I wanted to pay homage to one of my favorite movies, It. And this thing has sat on my shelf for a really long time now, and every time I look at it, I just hate it. I've learned so much since then, so I feel like I can do better. So let me show you. Okay, so here is the project. It's 4 sides, and yeah, every time I look at it, I just really hate it. There are a few things about it that I like. So, for example, my balloon got totally like, I don't know, I think maybe from the heat or something, or like being in direct sunlight, the balloon just totally started ripping. So that's not great, but I do like my little cast back here. Get him out of the way. It's so cute, and I made it out of clay and like actual gauze, and I don't know, I think it turned out pretty cute, so I would like to salvage that if I can. I mean, from this room, that's kind of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I do like the little New Kids on the Block poster that I put there. Yeah, so that's that side. This side, I don't know why I used the brick scrapbook paper. I made brick walls prior to this, so I think I was just kind of in a hurry to finish it. But I hate that. But I do like my sign, so maybe I can try to like pry that off the wall. And I do like the bike. I bought this bike, then I added a few elements like this to make it look like the one from the movie. And oh, well, he's already coming off, so well, that was easy. All right, cool. So we'll just put that there. This side, oh God, like, yeah, I mean, this is just horrific. Yeah, I can't. You know, I like all the missing posters, cute, whatever. My little tunnel with the balloon, yeah, I don't know. I hate the hand. I like the boat. I actually made this out of paper and I folded it. I like looked up a tutorial how to make one of these little boats out of paper, which was not easy. And the fact that I was able to make it like in paper in the correct scale, I was pretty proud of myself. So I'd like to try to pry that off. It looks like it's glued on pretty well, but we'll see. But you know, this side is just trash. And then this side's supposed to be like the Niebolt house, just like paying homage to that. You know, I mean, it's fine. I think the wood looks really good. And that's about it. So, yeah, I think I will, you know, already got the bike off, but if I can rip a few other pieces out of this, that would be really great. And then I can kind of start over, and my idea is to make something maybe like half this size or like smaller than half this size. And I definitely kind of want, I think the focal point to be probably do like a brick wall or something with this sign, and then incorporate some of the other elements. Definitely remake the balloon. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing I need to do is try and pull off the pieces I want to keep, starting with this sign. I decided I'm going to make a little sewer scene, so I'm going to make some stone walls and a drain pipe. Is that what it's called? Or a sewer pipe? I'm not really sure, but if you've seen the movie, you get it. Anyways, that's my plan, and I'll incorporate these items into the scene. I'm going to be using foam board because I want to make stone walls, so I'll peel off the top layer of paper to expose the foam underneath so I can easily carve into it. I found this random blue foam in my collection, so I decided I'll use it for the base. I need to cut the hole for the drain, so I'm just using my circle template and trying to make it as centered as possible. I want the sign to be above it, so I'm placing that where I want it to go so I know how much room I'll have below. Once I get the circle cut out, I can start on my stones. Using my ruler, I'm just marking out how wide I want each row to be. And then using the end of a paintbrush, I'm just going to indent each line. And I usually go over it twice just to make sure it's deep enough. I'm going to do the same process vertically, but this is where I messed up. I dragged my paintbrush all the way down when I was supposed to do every other row to give that staggered brick effect, if that makes sense. So I had to redo it, spoiler alert, and I only had scraps of foam board left over, so I Frankensteined them together, cut a new hole, and glued it to the back of the other piece. You can see the new one on the front there. I repeated the process correctly on the other walls, thank goodness, and now I can glue them together. I'm using a combo of tacky glue and hot glue. The tacky glue is going to hold better over time, and the hot glue will bond them instantly, so I don't have to sit there and hold them together while they dry. Using my ruler, I'm cutting a line on either side of the drain to create the sewer. And then I'm going to carve out the foam. I should have assembled the space differently so that I wouldn't have to do this because it wasn't the easiest, but you live and you learn. I ended up with a bunch of chunks instead of a smooth bottom like originally intended because I just didn't feel like carving anymore because it took a while. But ultimately, I kind of liked how it looked like there was rocks, so I'm not mad about it. I need to give these stones some texture, so I'm pressing into the foam with a small ball of foil. I'm painting on a base coat of black paint and Mod Podge. The Mod Podge is going to protect the foam, and the black is going to give everything a bit of depth. Once everything dried, I sponged on a few different shades of gray. I'm going to add some watered down black paint just to age it a bit and to darken up any areas between the stones that got a bit too light when I was sponging on the gray paint. I'm going to paint the bottom of the sewer brown, and then I'm going to add some green just in the middle. And I'm doing this while the brown paint is still wet, so it sort of blends together because I don't really want like a harsh line. To make the actual drain pipe, again, not sure if that's what it's called, but this is a pipe, I guess, right? Um, anyway, I cut a strip of poster board to size and I'm just going to glue it into the hole like so. Once that dried, I painted it with a rust color, but I'm only painting it halfway because the rest of the inside is going to be black. And this is the black I'm using. It is the darkest, mattest black. This stuff is rad. I will link it below. When you look inside the drain, I want it to look like a dark, endless void. So using the same black paint, I'm going to be painting like a just a back piece so I can fully enclose the drain. Using some watered down paint, I aged the drain a bit, and I'm also going to add some moss just around like the drain opening and probably in some of the cracks in the walls. To make the sewer water, I'm going to be using some UV resin and I want to color it. So I'm squeezing the whole bottle into this cup and I'm going to add some of this brown and green resin color. It was getting a bit dark, so I added a bit of this lime green and we are good to go. I want to create a drip from the drain, so I put some of the resin into a dropper and I'm not sure why I did that because it didn't really work out as well as I thought it would, but we got there eventually. You cure UV resin with a UV light, so that's what I'm doing here. And when you want to make drips, you have to like freeze it mid drip with the light. So it's a little bit tricky and takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it's totally worth it because it looks rad. Once I got the drip, I started filling up the sewer, and I'm just going to be doing this in layers so that it dries properly. So I'm going to spread a little bit of the resin on, use my light to cure it, and then I will just keep adding in resin until I get the look that I'm going for. And I'm using a spoon to kind of help me get it into all of those little crevices. And finally got my gloves on, which is good because, side note, you should definitely wear gloves when you're working with UV resin. I'm adding in Georgie's boat, still so obsessed with how cute this is. I'm going to set this into the wet resin and then I'm going to cure the resin around it so that the boat stays put. Moving on to the sign, I was going to use the old one, but then I decided I could probably do better, so I'm going to remake it. I'm using some mat board and some coffee stirrers, which is exactly what I used the last time.
I'm painting the coffee stirrers black, and I painted the top portion of the sign yellow and added the lines to make this look like one of those school signs. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. That is why I'm going to be using the letter stickers as well, because I want it to look like the stickers were put up there individually. And I'm using my old sign as a guide just to figure out the spacing for all of the letters. Once I get all the letters on, I'm going to glue some acetate over each row, again, just to make it look like these letters were put up there individually. I ended up painting the frame silver because based on my reference photo, that's what color it is. And now that everything's dry, I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. It was looking a little too clean, so I wanted to dirty it up a little bit. And I'm just using some brown chalk pastels and I'm just dusting in those corners. Once our sign is complete, we can go ahead and glue it onto the wall. The next item I want to remake is the balloon. So I'm going to use some red polymer clay this time because my idea to use an actual balloon didn't work out so well last time. Also, I recently started using this ceramic tile to bake my clay on, and I love it because you can sculpt directly onto it and the clay kind of sticks to it, so you don't have to worry about anything like falling over and getting messed up. And you can stick the whole thing in the oven and bake it. And it was literally 38 cents at Home Depot. So, just a hot tip in case you didn't know about this. Now I can finally add in my other pieces. So I'm going to glue the bike in over here. And I'm going to add this missing poster on the other side. And then, of course, my favorite, the cast. Apparently, I forgot to film myself adding in the balloon, but all I did was glue some string to the bottom and glued it against the wall. Hopefully, it kind of looks like it's floating. But anyways, I couldn't have the outside of this project looking boring, so I glued on some chipboard and sliced up a bunch of strips of cardstock. And basically, my idea is to make the outside of this look like wooden fencing or something. So I'm going to glue all of these on, leaving a tiny bit of space between each one. Once they dried, I cut off the excess and now I can give it a base coat of black. Once the black dried, I added on some brown and then I dry brushed on some lighter shades of brown until I got the look I was going for. Lastly, I'm going to go in with some watered down black paint just to give it some depth. And in my opinion, this is kind of what brings everything together. I wanted to add a bit of a carnival vibe, so I printed out these Pennywise posters and I'm going to add these to either side. To give it a bit of realism, I'm gluing on these little diamond art diamonds, I guess they're called, and I'm going to put these in each corner so it looks like these posters have been nailed to the wall. And then, of course, I have to age them a little bit. So I'm going to fold and tear the corners and the sides, and I'm going to add some watered down brown paint. We are finally done, so here is the finished piece. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I have some really fun, spooky projects coming up, and I can't wait to share them, so stay tuned.